The more privilege you have, the more power awareness you have. Even though nobody tells you specifically that you have an advantage, you will have life experience as the privileged where you clearly see that you have an advantage over others. An example of this is having an easier time to persuade people. You say something and people listen to you right away. You even notice people following you right away. When you're born with privilege and you are higher up in the hierarchy, in your social group, including in your friendships, you experience this. And that's how the majority of the people understand what their privilege is. It can be very shocking for people who didn't have high social hierarchy ranking in their family or in their immediate community. When they venture out, they start to see this contrast. And that's where they realize the cars that they had, which they weren't aware of. Great example of this that we see in popular movies is in Mean Girls, where Regina gets eliminated, and then the rest of the girls, the plastics, want to follow Katie around. They want to know what she's doing that day. They want to take instructions from her. That's the moment where Katie realizes that she didn't just beat Regina for her own petty purposes of wanting to take the man that she had a crush on. She had gained power and control over the other two key players who also have power over the general population of the school. Unless Katie had experienced this, where the two plastics want to follow her and want instructions from her the same way that they were looking up to Regina in the past, she wouldn't have realized the power of her pretty privilege as well as the reward of dethroning the queen. When you observe people who have a lot, they have time freedom, they have money, they didn't get there by accident. Either somebody had to work for them to have that, or they themselves had to work to make that happen. Doing yourself is much harder than having your whole family having set it up for you. But regardless, when you see somebody who has those results, that means they know how to play much better than people who don't have that outcome. So then comes the question of empathy. Unless you have to develop it, you won't. Unless it affects you personally, you won't develop it. Think about any other areas of development. Unless it's required for you because of your circumstances or because of where you're going, whether it's a required course to get a certain degree, to practice a certain profession, or your life challenged you where you had to learn for your own benefit. Everybody has problems. Nobody wants to change unless they have to. Empathy is for connection. As you move higher up, you require less and less because all transactions turn into business. So if you can't do that, then you're going to stay oppressed forever.